I know I have a lot of criticisms of competitive Pokemon, with most of it being targeted at the Pokemon Company and their horrendous mismanagement of Pokemon as an esport or even a competitive game. I've done so many videos just talking about how they have no idea what they're doing, but this is tragic.
People would be bringing it when they're playing on the ladder. The one Pokemon we see, if we look on the Pokemon on the same side, one of my favorite Pokemon is on that list in Stoutland. Now,
I was hoping you'd bring up Stoutland, because seeing that Pokemon there, it's interesting. You know, it has Sandstream, is it? I believe?
No, it's
not Sandstream.
It basically boosts its attack in the sand. It's, I believe,
I'm gonna cheat and look it up right here. It's Sand Rush.
Yeah, it boosts its speed. Sand Rush is its speed, I believe. But would be.
I don't even know what to say about that. Stoutland being a Sandstream Pokemon, and Sandstream boosts attack. I actually cannot believe that every aspect of that quote was wrong in some way. And then the guy's like, wow, when she's cheating because she's trying to get help. You know, it's a page right there. I don't think that she should have been criticized for just going on the Pokemon Global and clicking on something else, and then trying to get clarification. Like, he's saying, like, wow, you don't know that it's Sand Rush and it boosts attack? And then they're like, oh, I guess it's speed because Rush versus Force. And I can understand the trip up. I think that that's one of the biggest issues with competitive Pokemon, that there's no hype. That the broadcasting has always been the biggest weakness. And even when they bring on other people like Ray the Hacker Rizzo and Aaron Zhang, it just feels like they don't find talent that sticks and does a good job of broadcasting these Pokemon events. And that's going to be like a main reason for the viewership drop, because it's boring. I rarely watch an event more than a couple minutes, so I'm like, maybe the Pokemon Company is doing something interesting, and there's no synergy. It seems like the knowledge is average at best. Like, there's no one that really understands a lot of the ins and outs in Pokemon. I think that's another thing. You can describe a lot of the Pokemon casts as uncomfortable, and even when they do have a content creator like Justin Flynn or Shady Penguin, my understanding, I haven't like looked into this, I haven't seen any of the official statements or anything, but Shady Penguin got kicked off because he was doing ROM hacks, I believe, and the Pokemon Company didn't like that, but at the same time, they'll allow cheaters on the desk. They'll allow their world champion to use hacked Pokemon and distribute hacked Pokemon as well, and then they're not going to do anything to punish all the hackers. Oh, by the way, you know, it's like, you know, as much as me and Shady Penguin, we've had our disagreements in the past, he at least knows how to make content and bring hype, and people love him. I feel like without Shady Penguin being there, people are just less interested in competitive Pokemon, so it hurts the scene overall. But it's like, okay, so they don't want people for using ROM hacks, but they'll talk about hackers on stream.
I think it's interesting to talk about. Importantly for me, I'd argue it's Xurkitree.
I was going to say Xurkitree because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to recall that there was a Xurkitree Smeargle team that's done very well, maybe top 8 in Toronto?
I believe
Run
it was
by
Joshua
Joshua
Lorsey. He took it to finals. He didn't manage to secure the win, which, you know, for him was a big disappointment. But the way he was playing it was very, very important. It's a very offensive Pokemon, but it sits in this very odd speed tier indeed.
And that's Joshua, the hacker, Lorsey, who used the Beast Ball Porygon. Like, that, there is no doubt right there. I mean, you can raise questions when you look at the Impossible Raichu, and you can raise questions when you look at someone using a shiny Tapu Koko and like other shiny Pokemon or other perfect legendaries, and you can see, all right, maybe there's something up right there. But when you see the Beast Ball Porygon, that is an absolutely impossible Pokemon that cannot exist in the game and can only be obtained through hacking, and now it's like, oh, let's go and talk about the guy that's hacking and doing well. I don't understand. Like, there's just nothing going on. And even then, you can feel a little more of that discomfort because they're just looking up things and talking about what they see and not providing any real analysis, it feels. You know, I feel that's also kind of strange that now, like, the Pokemon Company is using their own global link when they've had access to this for years now, and they're finally starting to blend it in. But I've been using this for a while on my channel. So, I mean, I feel like there's other aspects of content that has been around that when you look at the people that are actually experienced at being commentators, that are experienced with broadcasting, you don't find any of that in the Pokemon Company, and I have no idea why. That people just don't really have any confidence when they speak. And when it comes to Pokemon Global Link, there's a lot more information here that you can kind of gather from it instead of just kind of like reading off the list. Like, yeah, we have Stoutland here, and that kind of works, and then we can find out the ability, or we can use the Porygon combo and then figure out Pokemon that are working and when defeated. Like, I mean, I can do the same thing. There's no analysis. I'm not learning anything while I'm watching a Pokemon stream. I'm not gaining any information, it feels. And also, the Pokemon Global Link isn't the best tool because it only shows you the top 30 Pokemon and the top 10 Pokemon when used, and it doesn't give you like all the usage stats, like the percent stats of when these Pokemon are being used or anything like that. And also, it kind of doesn't directly relate to every regionals encounter or anything like that. So overall, you do get a lot of like these weird mixed interactions when using Pokemon Global Link, and it seems like they were just told, hey, promote our Pokemon Global Link, and I've been doing that since the beginning. Like, I'm not here to be like, oh, Pokemon Company, you need to hire me because I'm going to be better than all of these guys. But I'm just saying, like, there's much more creativity going on in the community. There's more people with experience out there, and it seems like the Pokemon Company just doesn't care enough. They want to put and I'm not trying to, well, I mean, I guess I've already done enough to just, like, say negative things about the people that are commentating, but there's never any excitement going on. I know Pokemon's a hard game to kind of cast, but I feel maybe the format needs changing. Maybe there needs to be something more to bring hype, to expand this, because I do like this, that, you know, while we're waiting for games to set up, there is a little bit of analysis and discussion, but this doesn't bring anything like I've seen from other analysts and other discussion during the game. Pokemon is a hard game to cast, but there's no color commentary that really spices things up, because you look at League of Legends, like, and also Overwatch, because Doe and Monte Cristo, that is like the best casting duo besides a couple of other like CSGO commentators as well. Like CSGO, Overwatch, they have it down. And then you look at Freak, like Freak, he's had his ups and downs, but he kicked off a lot of the crazy casting that you expect out of League of Legends, and then it grew from there. It seems like the Pokemon Company tried to put a foothold down when it came to Justin Flynn and Shady Penguin, but then like other people they didn't bring synergy, they didn't bring the right emotions. Unfortunately, Justin Flynn got sick, and he was more entertainment, but he also didn't have like the best game knowledge. I'm not trying to hate on Justin Flynn too much either, but a lot of people can agree with that. And even like Shady Penguin, he does have his like moments of little bits of unawareness. So it is really hard. It's really hard finding the right talent in Pokemon, but the Pokemon Company hasn't done it to make it inviting. That they're not being like, hey, let's get all of these people that know so much about Pokemon, let's get them excited. When it comes to PokeTubers, you know, a lot of them don't care about the competitive scene, and they're hackers as well. They want to stick to their singles playlist, they want to stay to everything like that, and then everyone else that's pretty decent at the game, they're just going to enter the events instead of commentating. So there's a severe lack right there. And the Pokemon Company, I feel they're not doing enough to get the right talent to promote it as well. They just kind of hear, oh, there's an event going on. There was no build up to it. There was nothing else going on like that. Even when there's a ruling or decision, you don't really get an update from the Pokemon Company. So a majority of the Pokemon players, you know, we have 12 million Pokemon Sun and Moon copies sold or something crazy like that. It's like over 10 million. Same with X and Y, same with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Sure, a lot of them are going to be kids, but get the kids entertained in this. Make it like a TV show. Like whenever there's a regional weekend, you know, blow it up as an event. Get the kids excited to play Pokemon, but you can't also be promoting hackers. You can't show all these cheated Pokemon. You can't put it above their head as well. I think that'd be a better decision. Like, if you're already competitive, you know what's going on, so at least make it entertaining, you know, at least provide something that will entertain the people that are competitive that know what's going on, but also make the kids learn about Pokemon. Like, we've seen this, when they have, like, was it the Pokinshi show or the Pokemon House or the Pokemon Hour or whatever? I've seen a couple of like those, like not even translated, just subbed episodes because they have Pokemon news inside of them, and they do really silly battles and they do really basic information. But the Japanese promotion, they know how to get kids watching their Pokemon shows that aren't just the anime. And we have this major audience that isn't being tapped, that is not being invited and welcomed at all. And it's kind of crazy because I go out into the world and people, you know, I talk Pokemon people and they aren't even aware that like Pokemon PokeTubing is a big deal. I mean, like, I wonder, like, if Unlisted Leaf, like, if he'd be down to do it for TCG commentary, or if you could actually get someone that's knowledgeable at the game to just talk about the game in an exciting way. Like, we have all of this talent open, but it seems like the Pokemon Company, they're stubborn and spiteful, and they're putting how good the player is over their casting talent, over their entertainment value, over anything like that. And that's like the exact wrong way that you need to promote Pokemon. I think that that's also showing just like the condensation of Pokemon not being a fun game. Like, you don't know names. Like, you can like these people they name drop on stream, and they also seem disrespectful. Like, a lot of the streamers, a lot of the casters, that if you're not a part of the scene and you're not like in the top X amount of players, and you're like this new guy, it's like, oh, this guy's in top 8, never heard of him, so he's probably gonna be at a disadvantage compared to this guy right here who's done a lot of really accomplished things. You know, there's way too much favoritism to really make it exciting. Like, I don't think there's a lot of proper training that people that are casting and the Pokemon Company doesn't understand what to look for in promoting names. Like, all right, we have Wolfglick, who, I haven't heard much about him recently. Like, it's only within the circles, and that doesn't make it work. Like, you can say Joshua Lorsey, and a lot of people in VGC know who that is, but the average viewer is just gonna be like, that's a name. If I hear it again, I might remember it or something like that. Or even like when they bring out Ray Rizzo and Cybertron, like that was before Pokemon even blew up. Those are 5th gen players that started gaining a name for themselves that didn't really do too much in the 6th generation as well. So because of that, a lot of the new players that you've introduced into this competitive scene that you're trying to promote this new platform on, it's like, well, I guess he's a veteran, but I've never seen him do anything. And even back then, like, it's hard to find the battles. It's hard to find the archives. That the Pokemon Company, they just overwrite it. That you go, like, the Pokemon competitive website. I'm on this page for the Pokemon Center thing. Like, you go to the Pokemon competitive website, you can't look up the rules or the videos or anything from, like, 2014, 2013. It's just a couple of clips or, like, highlight battles on the Pokemon YouTube channel as well. So you have to, like, find all these unofficial sources. And even then, no one's promoting it. So, like, Pokemon just dying. And, like, the competitive scene is dying. I feel there's a lot more room to get people excited, but you don't want, like, legitimate players don't want to play because of hackers, and hackers are so just self-centered about being the best and being competitive that it ruins the spirit of Pokemon, so there's no entertainment whatsoever. And the Pokemon Company has yet to look, or at least Pokemon Company International. I don't know how it's going for the Japan side of things. Seems like there's more engagement. It seems like their online tournaments do a lot better. And maybe Game Freak has a better idea, especially when it comes to shutting down all the hackers that happened recently. But when it comes to Pokemon Company International, they're just like, it's just poor. No one has an idea of what they're doing. Like, I feel I do a better job promoting Pokemon than Pokemon does, because I'm actually here, like, saying, go to the website, go to the global link. We have this new global mission, everyone participate in this. I'm like the only PokeTuber doing that. I'm the only one really trying to get press and getting this information out there to get people engaged with every aspect of Pokemon. Even though it's not the best, even though it might not be the most fun, we need people doing something Pokemon-based and keep that hype alive, or else our community is going to die like it's been dying. Like, I'm even saying, go out and buy a $400 piece of art that's going to be on the Pokemon Center. I'm talking about buying things on Pokemon Center like my Mimikyu plushes and some tumblers and, cool things like that. No one else is doing it. Like, where's the promotion? Why is this happening? The sad thing is, I've been commenting about this for 3 years now, and nothing really changes because of just the animosity towards me and my ideas, even though it is what's best for Pokemon. I feel like I'm the Thorin of the Pokemon community that's like, this is what makes sense. This is what would be the best decision, but because people want their own power, they want their own control, they're not thinking about the community. They're just thinking about what's in it for them and what they want to do, and then force people to engage with it. And that's not how you do it. You just can't shove things down people's throat, and then once it works, that's how the competitive scene dies. That if you believe in hacking, well, you're going against what is best for the game. If you believe that it's okay to support this, or at least turn a blind eye when your world champion is distributing and using illegal Pokemon. So I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of these breakdowns that's going on. But that's kind of it. Like, I was also looking at the videos, like the World Championships. You'd expect them to go all out for Worlds, but I mean, they're censoring. Like, whoever's trying to manage it, they cut out the middle finger on the VOD. I guess that's understandable for kids, but no punishment. That should just be, you get banned from the tournament right there, because you're an adult. You have more responsibility than this. We have Wolfglick's illegal Raichu, we have unsporting play, we have the TCG having bad things. Like, competitive Pokemon needs change. I said that 2016, August 24th, we're rolling into summer of 2017, and, like, it's just the commentary, everything is failing. And unfortunately, people with experience in other esports, they don't care enough about Pokemon. They think it's a stupid kids game because there hasn't been any other press about it. Even with Pokemon Go. Like, Pokemon Go, that's why all these videos have hundreds of thousands of views, because people were interested in Pokemon, wanted to see where it was, they realized that's mad boring, and nothing's really getting accomplished right there. So I feel the Pokemon Go momentum was wasted. Pokemon Sun and Moon, the ball was dropped, and the official side of Pokemon with their competitive scene is just bad, and now I sound like a broken record, but again,
bringing it when they're playing on the ladder.
Yeah.
The one Pokemon we see, if we look on the Pokemon on the same side, one of my favorite Pokemon is on that list, in Stoutland. Now,
I was hoping you'd bring up Stoutland, because seeing that Pokemon there, it's interesting. It has Sandstream